Good morning, all of you. Good morning, madam. Good morning, my dear friends.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. Sorry, Amma. Sorry for the late. Okay. Madam, can I start?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. This slide is visible. Screen sharing is visible, Amma.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, good morning, my dear friends. Welcome to today's session. This is Padala Tirupati, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Government Degree College for Women, Jagityal. We are met in Google Meet in the program of Faculty Exchange Program. Yesterday we are discussed related respiration. The first one is the mitochondria structure, and second that is in respiration we have major 4 steps. One is glycolysis. The second step is pyruvic acid oxidative decarboxylation. The third step is Krebs cycle, that is TCA cycle. And today we are going to the last important step involving the aerobic respiration, that is electron transportation chain or oxidative phosphorylation. Electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation is the third step in respiration. Actually, this is the 4th step, including pyruvic acid oxidative decarboxylation. This is the 4th step. If that pyruvic acid oxidative decarboxylation include in Krebs cycle, so this is the 3rd step, respiration, aerobic respiration. In this electron transportation chain or electron transport or oxidative decarboxylation, NADH and FADH is going to oxidized. NADH and FADH is going to oxidized. Electrons are carried. Electron transportation system energy in form of ATP, that is oxidative phosphorylation. In the process of oxidative phosphorylation, the ATP is synthesized. So in this aerobic acceptor, that is aerobic acceptor means the lost oxygen molecule. Oxygen molecule is the last aerobic acceptor. The last electron acceptor is in the electron transportation system or oxidative phosphorylation, that is oxygen. So the structure, we are well known about this picture. This is, what is this picture, Amma? What is this? The image shows about which cell?
Mitochondria.
Mitochondria. Very good. This mitochondria is responsible for the cell respiration, especially in aerobic respiration. This is a football shaped 1 to 2 microns and 1 to thousands in each cell we are absorbed in the cell. Based on the necessity of the energy, the mitochondria number is increased, and we are absorbed this mitochondria is able to perform the electron transport and oxidative phosphorylation in inner mitochondrial membrane or on the cristae. Then outer membrane, the outer membrane is permeable. Outer membrane is able to permeable small molecules, and the inner membrane it is responsible for electron transport. Enzymes embedded also in inner membrane, and it is also consists ATP synthase and cristae. Cristae is the folds of the inner membrane. The cristae increase the area of the increase the area, and the inner membrane impermeable to small molecules. Outer membrane is permeable to small molecules. My dear friends, remember here, the inner membrane is not permeable or impermeable to small molecules, and which is having lots of folds inside the matrix, and these folds we can call as cristae, which is useful for the increase the surface area of the membrane, and which is helpful for the integrity required for the coupling electron transportation system to synthesis of the ATP. Synthesis of the ATP. This is about this information related to this mitochondria. Amma, is it clear? Next, we will move for next slide. Yeah. Then,
Yes, sir.
so the matrix is the most important and which is consists abundant enzymes related to respiratory enzymes for the tricarboxylic acid enzymes or TCA cycle enzymes, and even though other enzymes also present inside the matrix of the mitochondria. And this mitochondria is also consists ATP, ADP, NAD+, NADH, magnesium ion, and remain other remain the circular DNA and some of the granules also present the matrix. Then actual topic, that is electron transport system, ETS, electron transport system. The mechanism the cell uses to convert the energy in NADH and FADH2 into ATP. Why electron transport system needed, Amma? Because in the process of glycolysis or in tricarboxylic acid cycle, we are already studied ATP and NADPH2 and FADH2 are synthesized. The NADH and FADH2 going to oxidize to synthesize or produce lots of energy, that is ATP. So ATP is synthesized from NADH and FADH in the to phosphorylation. So that's why this electron transport system needed. This electron transport system is carried of the inner membrane model, inner membrane of the mitochondria. Then electrons flow along an energy gradient via carriers in one direction from a higher reducing potential. One direction from a higher reducing potential, that is greater tendency to donate electrons, to a lower reducing potential, that is greater tendency to accept electrons. So from donate electrons to accept electrons through electron carriers. The ultimate acceptor is the molecule of oxygen. Why we can say that, my dear friends? The last and the final most electron acceptor is oxygen. Remember, this is the competitive question also, my dear friends. In electron transport system or oxidative phosphorylation, which molecule is the last electron acceptor? So last electron acceptor is oxygen. Is it clear? My dear friends, here the overall voltage drop from NADH. See here, this is we can say that minus 0.32 volt and plus 0.82 volt and 1.14 volt. This is not necessary in our class, but we are simply listen, simply we are are discussing here. Then this corresponds to a large free energy change of, that is gradient. Gradient is equal to NF delta E, that is 220 kilojoules per mole. N is equal to, here N is there now, N is equal to 2 mole, 2. Since ATP requires 30.5 kilojoules per mole to form from ADP. So more than enough energy is available to synthesize 3 ATPs from the oxidation of NADH. Oxidation of NADH. So one NADH is going to oxidize to synthesize or form 3 ATPs. Remember, my dear friends, here in this electron transportation system or electron transportation chain, we are going to multiple enzymes. We are going to discuss here how many multiple enzyme complexes? 5 multiple complex enzyme complexes. Enzyme complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4, and the last one, that is ATP synthase, that is 5th enzyme complex. So the first enzyme complex, that is NADH dehydrogenase. This is the first enzyme complex in this oxidative phosphorylation or electron transportation chain. So electron transportation engine, which one the multiple complex enzyme complex? That is NADH dehydrogenase is a multiple enzyme complex. And this NADH CoQ oxidoreductase, it contains FMN. FMN means flavin mononucleotide. Flavin mononucleotide or flavin mononucleotide hydrogenase or hydrogen. And iron sulfur centers as electron carriers. Even though FMN and iron sulfur centers as electron carriers in this NADH dehydrogenase. And my dear friends, NADH is substrate. NADH is substrate of the coenzyme. Q is second substrate. See here, NADH one substrate and coenzyme Q. CoQ means coenzyme Q is second substrate for the NADH dehydrogenase enzyme complex. And what is the function of this NADH dehydrogenase? See here, this is the structure of the NADH oxidation state and a reduced state NADH structure. This is not necessary for us, but we are looking here at a glance. And the second one is along with this NADH, and this structure is related to FMN or FAD. FMN means flavin mononucleotide and FAD means flavin adenine dinucleotide. FAD means flavin adenine dinucleotide. FMN means flavin mononucleotide. So along with this, riboflavin ring plus ribitol. See here, ribitol. So this is the structure. And here we looks here. This is the one ferrous circle, and this is two ferrous sulfur. One ferrous sulfur and two ferrous two sulfur ring we are observed here. Iron sulfur centers. Iron sulfur centers we are observed in the NADH dehydrogenase complex 1, and even though complex enzyme, second enzyme complex 2 also. And these are the transfer electrons in variety of proteins, NADH and succinate dehydrogenase. NADH and succinate dehydrogenase. And coenzyme Q. So coenzyme Q, we can also call as ubiquinone. Ubiquinone. Coenzyme Q or ubiquinone is a lipid in inner membrane which carries the electrons and polyisoprene tail which contains polyisoprene tail and which is helper moves freely within a membrane. Within membrane. I will show the membrane. Next slide. See here. For NADH, one of two entry points into the electron transport chain. See here. This is the NADH plus proton or H plus. This is NAD plus. So these electrons moves to the FMN and FES iron sulfur proteins and CoQ, that is ubiquinone. So these are involved in the NADH dehydrogenase complex 1. So the oxidation of one NADH results in the reduction of one ubiquinone or coenzyme Q. Another important function of the enzyme will be mentioned later. And the second complex, that is succinate dehydrogenase complex. My dear friends, first complex is NADH dehydrogenase complex. That is the first enzyme complex. And the second one is succinate dehydrogenase complex. That is complex 2. First one is NADH dehydrogenase. That is complex 1. Succinate dehydrogenase is the complex 2. This succinate coenzyme or succinate dehydrogenase, succinate coenzyme Q oxidoreductase, and similar reaction can be written yielding CoQ, coquinol or ubiquinol. CoQH2 means we can also call ubiquinol. The second entry into electron transport that is substrate is succinate. It contains iron sulfur centers, which is also contain iron sulfur centers, and FAD is reduced, not FMN, Only FAD is reduced. FAD means flavin adenine dinucleotide. FMN means flavin mononucleotide. This ubiquinol or CoQH2 carriers electrons to cytochrome B. These carriers of electrons to cytochrome B. The cytochromes and proteins in electron transportation chain carry electrons, contain heme or heme-like group. These carriers electrons only. These carriers, the cytochromes, which means ferrous. 3 to ferric to ferrous. Ferric to ferrous status. The cytochromes in respiration are on inner mitochondrial membrane. Even though in earlier, so this coenzyme Q or ubiquinol moves freely within membrane. Here, the cytochromes in respiration are on inner mitochondrial membrane. Cytochromes are cytochrome B, cytochrome C or cytochrome C1, cytochrome A and cytochrome A3. These are cytochromes are present on inner mitochondrial membrane. Cytochromes are cytochrome B, cytochrome C1, cytochrome C, cytochrome A and cytochrome A3. These are the cytochromes are present on inner mitochondrial membrane, which are relay electrons one at a time in this order. So this is the order, my dear friends. So the third enzyme complex, that is cytochrome C reductase. Cytochrome C reductase. That is the third complex 3. This complex 3 we can also call cytochrome C reductase. These cytochromes are cytochrome B, cytochrome A and ferrous sulfur or iron sulfur proteins, even though and cytochrome 1 is also here. And my dear friends, cytochrome C is mobile. So mobile carrier, cytochrome C reductase is a mobile electron carrier. And the fourth enzyme complex is the cytochrome C oxidase. Cytochrome C oxidase, and which consists cytochrome A and cytochrome A3. Cytochrome enzyme complex 3 is cytochrome C reductase, which contains cytochrome B, cytochrome A and iron sulfur proteins along with this cytochrome 1. And these are the mobile electron carriers. And the fourth enzyme complex, that is cytochrome A and cytochrome A3, cytochrome A and cytochrome A3. And my dear friends, cytochrome C oxidase, cytochrome C oxidase is, that is the complex 4. These are the large protein, both A and A3. A and A3 contain heme A and copper A3. Copper, and which binds to oxygen and donate electrons to oxygen. My dear friends, this is the most important. And the fourth enzyme complex, this is the larger protein, cytochrome A and A3. Iron sulfur proteins are also present, which donates the electrons to final electron acceptor, that is oxygen. And cytochrome A3, only component of electron transportation system that contain interact with O2. So this is the last electron carrier or electron donor, which acceptor, the final electron acceptor is oxygen. So this is the cytochrome C oxidase. Cytochrome C oxidase, which is the larger protein molecule, which consists, see here, this is the cytochrome C, and which consists, even though it consists A and A3, A consists cytochrome A, which consists heme A and copper molecule. And even though A3 also consists heme protein, that is heme A and copper. So copper molecule is here. Copper is also consists cytochrome A and A3 and C also here. And my dear friends, remember, electrons are moved from cytochrome C to and cytochrome A and A3 here. This is copper and heme A are the more heme A and copper are more together to transfer of electrons to the final electron acceptor, that is oxygen. Am I clear? Are you follow my class?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
clear? Yeah. See here, my dear friends. Here, heme A and copper are the more closer together to transfer the electrons to final electron acceptor, that is oxygen molecule. Then, so this is the diagrammatic schematic representation about the multi-protein complexes or enzyme complexes in the oxidative or electron transportation chain. This is the complex one. This complex one is NADH dehydrogenase, which consists FMN2 FES protein and coenzyme Q, even though coenzyme Q and cytochrome B. So in electrons are moved towards NADH to FMN to iron sulfur protein, from iron sulfur protein to coenzyme Q or ubiquinone, and which finally reach to complex 3. And complex 2, that is succinate. So complex 1, NADH going to oxidized, that is NADH dehydrogenase. NADH2 electrons move towards the electron carriers from NADH to FMN to FES and ubiquinone or coenzyme Q, and finally reached complex 3. And the second multiple complex or multi-protein complex, that is complex 2, which is succinate dehydrogenase enzyme complex. The electrons moves from succinate to FAD to FES protein, iron sulfur protein, to coenzyme Q or ubiquinone. From ubiquinone to ubiquinol, these electrons reach to complex 3. So complex 1 and complex 2, these two electrons moves from complex 1, complex 2 electrons via coenzyme Q or ubiquinone to reach complex 3. So complex 3, that is cytochrome C reductase, my dear friends. Cytochrome C reductase. In this cytochrome C reductase, which consists cytochrome B, iron sulfur proteins, and cytochrome C1, and these electrons moves towards the complex 4. See here, this is the complex 4, and this complex 4 is the cytochrome C oxidase, my dear friends. The third complex is the cytochrome C reductase, and fourth enzyme complex is the cytochrome C oxidase. This cytochrome C oxidase consists the cytochrome A and A3. Here, heme A and copper proteins are there. They are more closer together to transfer the electrons to final electron acceptor, that is oxygen. And my dear friends, here we are another more important complex, that is the complex 5. This is the final last enzyme complex, that is F0 F1 complex or ATP synthase. Here these complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4, these are related to electron transport. And my dear friends, the last enzyme complex, that is the ATP synthase, very closer are related to proton channel or protons. So proton gradients or proton concentration gradients are increased whenever these protons are reached this complex 5 or ATP synthase. Here finally ATP is synthesized. So this is the flow chart are related to show about the how electron transportation through electron carriers via different multiple or protein complexes, and this coenzyme Q or ubiquinone is the mobile electron carrier, and finally the final electron acceptor is oxygen. And the fifth enzyme complex, that is ATP synthase. This ATP synthase is utilized, the protons are used or act as a proton channel. This complex 5 or ATP synthase act as a proton channel for synthesis of the ATP. It consists ATP synthase enzyme. So this is the sequence of respiratory electron, and even though inhibitors also. This slide is visible. This slide is visible. Anybody respond? Yeah. So this is the NAD oxidable substrate. That is the complex NADH dehydrogenase. From electrons moves towards the NADH to FMN and FAD and iron sulfur centers and reach the coenzyme Q or ubiquinol. So some of the energy required for this redox potential we can also show in this slide. And the second enzyme complex, that is succinate dehydrogenase. This succinate dehydrogenase, the electrons moves from the succinate to FAD, not FMN, flavin adenine dinucleotide, FAD to iron sulfur centers. And here the electron inhibitors also were observed in the succinate dehydrogenase area, that is amytal and rotenone. Amytal, this is the complex, this is the competitive examination question summer. Electron inhibitors, amytal and rotenone, which are present in the second enzyme complex, that is succinate dehydrogenase. And here, my dear friends, from NADH dehydrogenase, electrons are reached coenzyme Q, and even though succinate dehydrogenase complex, that is second enzyme complex, these two electrons are reached coenzyme Q, that is ubiquinone. From ubiquinone, the enzymes are reached cytochrome C reductase. Cytochrome C reductase, that is the third enzyme complex. This third enzyme complex also consists electron inhibitor, that is antimycin A. Antimycin A is the electron inhibitor that is present in the third enzyme complex, that is cytochrome C reductase. Here, even though cytochrome C reductase consists of iron sulfur centers and cytochrome C oxidase, and finally electrons are from third to fourth reached the cytochrome C oxidase. In the here cytochrome C oxidase is also consists cytochrome A and A3. Here cyanide, CN means cyanide, and cobalt also carbon monoxide, not cobalt, carbon monoxide is also electron inhibitor for the fourth enzyme complex, that is cytochrome C oxidase. It consists cytochrome A3, and final electron reached the oxygen. Final electron reached oxygen molecule. And now we will show how electrons are moves from the enzyme complexes. My dear friends, here this is the mitochondrial structure, but we are unable to show the complete picture of the mitochondria, but we are imagining this is cytosol, and this is mitochondrial outer membrane, and my dear friends, this is inner membrane surface or perimitochondrial space, and this is mitochondrial inner membrane, and this is the matrix of the mitochondria. Are you follow my class, Amma? Are you follow my class?
Yes, sir.
I will show them. This is a mitochondria. My dear friends, this is the outer membrane, and this is the inner membrane. This inner membrane is number of folds. We have number of folds. This is the inner membrane. This is outer membrane, and between these outer and inner membrane, we can say that inner membrane space. This is mitochondrial outer membrane. This is mitochondrial inner membrane. Between two membranes, inner membrane surface or inner membrane space, that is perimitochondrial space. This is the perimitochondrial space. This is inner mitochondrial. This is my inner mitochondrial membrane. This is mitochondrial outer membrane, and this is the cytosol. Cytosol means
Cytoplasm.
very good, cytoplasm. And my dear friends, this is the matrix of the mitochondria. Matrix of the mitochondria. So when we are draw the picture, this is the looks like. When we are draw the picture, this is looks like. Okay. I hope you imagine this picture, mitochondrial picture. Now we will clearly, elaborately discuss here. This is the first enzyme complex, that is NADH dehydrogenase. Is there any doubt, Amma? NADH dehydrogenase. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Now, this is the succinate dehydrogenase. This is the second enzyme complex. And this is the third enzyme complex, that is cytochrome C reductase. My dear friends, remember between this complex 1, complex 2, and complex 3, coenzyme Q, that is ubiquinone, is present. Ubiquinone is present. And this is the fourth enzyme complex, that is cytochrome C oxidase. So cytochrome C reductase, cytochrome C oxidase. And the final one, my dear friends, this is the fifth enzyme complex, that is ATP synthase. I hope you understand. So this is the complex 1, NADH dehydrogenase, and this is the complex 2, cytochrome C reductase. Cytochrome succinate dehydrogenase, second one, and between this third enzyme complex, that is cytochrome C reductase, coenzyme Q or ubiquinone is present, and fourth one is cytochrome C oxidase. My dear friends, remember here coenzyme Q or ubiquinol between this ubiquinol is present the inner membrane space. Coenzyme Q present in inner membrane space. And my dear friends, remember these enzyme complexes are present on which space? On which membrane? Which membrane?
Outer. Inner.
No. Inner. Very good. Very good. Inner membrane. That is plastic. Cristae, you know. Cristae. Inner membrane. Inner membrane shows the number of folds, produce number of folds. The folds we can call as cristae. The cristae consists of these enzyme complexes, you know. Complex 1, that is the NADH dehydrogenase. Complex 2, succinate dehydrogenase. Complex 3, cytochrome C reductase. Complex 4, cytochrome C oxidase. And finally, the fifth enzyme complex, that is ATP synthase. I hope you understood. Then, experiment as electrons are passed through the NADH oxidized by coenzyme Q or ubiquinol, cytochrome B oxidized by cytochrome C1, and cytochrome A oxidized by oxygen. Then each yields enough energy to synthesize about 1 ATP. So oxidation of NADH yields about 3 ATPs. 3 ATPs. So NADH. So NADH, one NADH is completely oxidized to synthesize how many ATPs? 3 ATPs. Then oxidation of FADH gives how many ATPs? 2 ATPs from succinate dehydrogenase and other enzyme complexes. One FADH is equal to how many ATPs are synthesized? 2 ATPs.
2 ATP.
2 ATPs. Definitely. Pakka. Very good. Then what about energy and ATP and stoichiometry and measured? This is the measuring method, but we need not to study here. Then oxidative phosphorylation. So definition of the oxidative phosphorylation means production of the ATPs. Production of the ATP using transfer of electrons for energy, that is coupled from per NADH. We know that NADH and FMN, FES protein and coenzyme Q, cytochrome B, cytochrome C, and cytochrome AA3. These are the consist of number of complexes 1, complex 2, and complex 3, and complex 4. So these complex 1 and complex 3 and complex 4 are the responsible for the synthesis of the ATPs. Complex 1, complex 3, and complex 4. These are the responsible for the synthesis of the energy. And here, what are the requirements for coupling? What are the requirements for the coupling? Leninger is a scientist who discovered oxysomes. Earlier, the F0, F1 complex we can call as oxysomes. The Leninger in the 1950s and 60s, intact mitochondria, that is inner membrane respiratory chain, consists of Pi, inorganic phosphate, ADP, and NADH are other reductants. That is FADH also. No other metabolites needed. And here NADH and FADH2, the suspended intact mitochondria with NADH and Pi, which gives with the help of coupling factors or coupling, ATP are synthesized. ATP are synthesized. How is this coupling accomplished? How this coupling accomplished? It was originally thought that ATP generation was somehow directly done at complexes 1, 3, and 4. Already we show that this is the complex 1, complex 3, and complex 4. Okay, complex 1, 3, and 4. We now know that the coupling is indirect in that a proton gradient is generated across the inner mitochondrial membrane, which drives ATP synthesis. Again, we will discuss the second point, We know that the coupling is indirect in that proton gradient is generated across the inner membrane, mitochondrial membrane, which drives ATP synthesis. So this is the ATP synthase, ATP synthetic machinery, F0, F1 complexes. See here, my dear friend. See here, this is the F0 and this one is the F1. F0, F1. So this complex in inner mitochondrial membrane, this is the F0. F0 is inserted in the inner mitochondrial membrane, and the F1 particle or the head of this particle is inside the matrix, my dear friends, inside the matrix of the mitochondria. So F0 is knob-like projections on the matrix side called F1 sphere. So this is the F1 sphere, and which is responsible for ATP production. This F1 is responsible for ATP production, since when removed by trypsin, my dear friends, remember trypsin treatment, the resulting membrane still transport electrons but do ATP. Then F0, F1 ATP synthesized on matrix side. Remember, not cytosol side. This is the competitive question. ATP synthesized matrix side or cytosol side? Always remember matrix side. Then electron transport complexes and F0, F1 ATP synthase arranged on the inner membrane, of the mitochondrion, facing in and lining the membrane bordering the. See here, one of the most important scientists, the scientist name is Peter Mitchell. 1979, remember my dear friends, 1979, Peter Mitchell was a scientist who explained chemoosmotic theory. Chemoosmotic theory or chemiosmotic theory. Chemiosmotic theory explained by or discovered by this Peter Mitchell, and he got the Nobel Prize in 1979. 1979, he got the Nobel Prize about how this ATP is synthesized, how proton pump is activated. A proton gradient is generated using energy from electron transport. The vectorial transport of protons that is proton pumping, is done by complex 1, 3, and 4 from the matrix to intermembrane space mitochondria. So this is the proton motive force, how this machinery shows. The protons have a thermodynamic tendency to return to the matrix, that is proton motive force. The proton move back into the matrix through the F0 F1 complex, that is ATP synthase driving. Finally ATP is synthesis. So this is the proton pump are complex 1, complex 3, and complex 4. Here this is the complex 1, that is the protons are released in the inner membrane space or perimitochondrial space. So perimitochondrial space or inter membrane space of the mitochondria has huge gradient, or proton gradient is increased in the intermembrane space or perimitochondrial space. Then complex 3 and complex 4 also responsible for the increase of the protons inside the intermembrane space. The gradient, proton gradients are increased. The proton is going to move towards the matrix side. But my dear friends, remember, this mitochondrial inner membrane does not allow the protons. That's why the increase of the proton gradient inside the intermembrane space. Finally, the protons are reached the ATP synthase or F0 F1 complex. This F0 F1 complex or ATP synthase is used as act as a proton channels for release the protons from intermembrane space to matrix site, mitochondrial matrix site. Then finally ATP is synthesized. So the return of protons downhill through the F0 rotates. F0 rotates here, then F0 relative to F1. This is the F1 complex or F1 granule, and driving ATP synthesis. ATP is synthesized. Note here, the subunits of alpha rotates through F1. Subunits of alpha rotates through F1. So this is the alpha and these are the beta subunits we are observed here, and we are schematically observed how ATPs are synthesized. Finally, electron acceptor. See here, my dear friends, see how NADH first and the second one and the third one and the fourth one. See here, and the third one and the fourth one, and finally electron reached oxygen, and protons are moved through the ATP's channel and ATP is synthesized. Okay, are you observed, Amma? Are you observed in this slide? No. Once more you observe. This slide is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How Krebs cycle moves, and from Krebs cycle to electron transportation chain, how protons and electrons moves. Okay, what you observed, Amma? From complex 1, complex 3, and complex 4, these are the protons move towards the ATP synthase, and protons move through this ATP channel or ATP proton channel, ATP synthase. Finally ATP is synthesized. Then the final electrons are reached the oxygen molecule. Okay, so this is the, and once more you observe, one more time. Okay, so ADP is going to form ATP. Is it clear? Okay, now. So final electron acceptor is oxygen. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
The balance sheet of the ATPs. So this is the last slide. This is the last slide. How balance sheet. In glycolysis, how many ATPs are synthesized, Amma? 2 ATPs. Net ATPs, net gain of ATPs are 2. Net gain of 2. How many NADH2 are synthesized?
2.
My dear friend, this is the wrong. Whenever the final aerobic respiration through electron transportation chain, here 2 into 2 is equal to how many ATPs? 4. So this is 6 ATPs are obtained. Total number of ATPs are obtained. How many ATPs? 6. 6 ATPs are obtained from the glycolysis. And oxidative decarboxylation, 2 NADH2 are synthesized. From final electron transportation chain, oxidative phosphorylation, then 2 into 3, 1 NADH2 is equal to how many ATPs? 3 ATPs. Then finally 6 ATPs are produced or obtained. From Krebs cycle, yesterday we are already discussed how many ATPs are synthesized? How many? 20 ATPs are synthesized. Amma, is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
24. So total, how many ATPs are? Finally, how many ATPs are synthesized from the oxidative phosphorylation or complete one glucose molecule is going to complete oxidation in the oxidation process or aerobic respiration after completion of the mitochondrial inner membrane oxidation process. How many ATPs are synthesized? 36. How many ATPs are synthesized, Rama? 36. Okay. How many ATPs? 36 ATPs.
36, sir.
36 ATPs are synthesized. FADH2. See here, FADH2. So see here, in Krebs cycle, how many FADH2 are synthesized? 2. 2 into 2. 6 into 3. 6 into 3 is equal to 18. 2 into 2, 4 plus 2. How many? 18 plus 2, 20 plus 4. How many? 24 ATPs are synthesized. Here, my dear friends, 28 ATPs are here. 28. Why? Because from glycolysis, NADH2, only this is the exemption. From glycolysis, NADH2 produce 2 into 2 is equal to 4 ATPs are synthesized. Remaining 2 into 3, that is 6. Remember, this is the exemption. Okay, total how many ATPs are synthesized in oxidation process, aerobic respiration? Net gain of ATP, 36 ATPs. 36 ATPs. Okay, so this is the last and final slide of our electron transportation chain or oxidative phosphorylation. Is there any doubt? Please ask me. Is there any doubt? Please ask me.
Girls in respiration, if any doubt, ask me, ma.
So this slide is a very beautiful slide, Amma. Once again, you observe. Before going to conclude, you observe. Here. First NADH. Okay. Then second complex, then third complex, then fourth complex. Okay. This slide is visible. Observe carefully. Then protons are reached. Then ATP is going to form ATP. Okay. Then electrons. Final electron acceptor is oxygen. Okay. So this is the schematic explanation about mitochondrial electron transportation chain. Okay. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Otherwise, I will stop here.
Girls, if any doubt, ma.
No, ma'am.
Yeah,
No,
sir.
sir.
Sir,
Okay,
when
ma,
you
I hope
ask
you-
the
I
question,
hope you-
in that time they will what is there? Yes, girls.
I hope you clearly understand about this electron transportation chain. How many enzyme complexes are there? 5 enzyme complexes. NADH dehydrogenase, succinate dehydrogenase, cytochrome C reductase, cytochrome C oxidase, final one ATP synthase. The first 4 is related to electron transport, electron transportation chain, that is electron transportation through electron carriers. Then fifth one, that is related to protons and for synthesis of the ATP. Synthesis of the ATP.
Ma'am.
Is it clear? That's the
Tell me,
fifth one,
ma'am.
that is ATP synthase. Okay.
CC time.
Okay, ma? Madam,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Girls, SEC class, ma. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Girls, SEC na. ఏ మిమ్మల్ని
Yes, ma'am.
ఆ,
Yes, ma'am.
అది లిస్ట్ ఫైనలైజ్ కాలేదు, నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ నుంచి ప్లాన్ చేసుకుందాం. ఓకే,
Okay, ma'am.
నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ ప్లాన్ చేసుకుందాం. మీకు 3rd అవర్ కదా క్లాస్ షెడ్యూల్ చేసింది, 4th అవరా?
Third hour, ma'am.
ఎంబీసీ గర్ల్స్ 4th అవర్. ఓకేనా?
మీరు 4th అవర్ పెట్టారు కదా మ్యామ్ 11:30కి లింక్.
అవునవును, 11:30కి మీకు, వీళ్ళకి 3rd అవర్. ఓకే,
యాక్చువల్లీ మాకు నిన్న కెమిస్ట్రీ మ్యామ్ ఆల్రెడీ లింక్ పెట్టిండే మ్యామ్ 11:30కి.
అది కెమిస్ట్రీ లేదు కదా, ఫ్రీగానే ఉన్నారు కదా మీరు.
మీకు మ్యామ్ నిన్న పెట్టేశారు మ్యామ్ లింక్.
ఏ మేడము? మేడం పేరు చెప్పు.
రాధా
రాధికానా?
మ్యామ్.
రాధికానా అని అడుగుతున్నా.
అవును మ్యామ్, అవును మ్యామ్.
సరే, ఓకేలే, మీరు బిజెట్స్ వాళ్ళు జాయిన్ అవుతారు. మీకు
అవును,
వదిలేయండి.
ma'am.
సరే, నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే, రేపు తీసుకుంటాలేండి మీకు.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
Okay.
శ్రావణి, నాకు అటెండెన్స్ పెట్టండి అమ్మా. నువ్వు ఎంబీసీ గర్ల్స్ అటెండెన్స్ ఇవ్వట్లేదు.
ఓకే మ్యామ్, నేను సెండ్ చేస్తాను మ్యామ్.